Okay, so this is a small channel, so I feel like the only way for me to compete against the bigger channels is to either be the first one out of the gate with late breaking news, or simply to just predict the future and hope that it comes true. I'm gonna go with the latter. I predict that during tomorrow's unveiling of the PlayStation 5, Sony will also announce a new PlayStation Portable, hopefully a PS Vita 2. And I've come to this prediction from an article I read on PlayStation Universe, stating how Sony has filed a new trademark with a US patent for a new cartridge-based device. Now, at first I thought it might involve something with the PS5, which it probably will, in some way or another. But the thing that caught my attention was how the patent specifically states game cartridge, which wasn't mentioned the previous year in a similar article, which leads me to believe this new game cartridge device can be used outside of the PlayStation 5, which, of course, leads me to the PS Vita 2, or whatever it's going to be called. I used to think that Sony wanted nothing else to do with the handheld market after the failure of the Vita, but after seeing how well Nintendo is doing with the Switch, I'm starting to have second thoughts. I mean, maybe the timing is right now. Maybe it's time to introduce another handheld device. I feel that Nintendo is doing too well in the handheld market for Sony to ignore it. I mean, how can they not want a piece of that handheld market pie? Like, back when the Wii was doing really well with motion control, Sony and Microsoft came out with their own versions, right? PlayStation came out with the Move, and Xbox had the Kinect. Then it was the whole VR thing. I never really thought VR was going to catch on, and I always questioned why Sony would want to chase that market. I mean, it's probably because it might actually catch on eventually, and that they don't want to be left behind. That's why I feel like Sony might consider putting out another handheld device. It's just too tempting not to. I mean, maybe not one that does everything like the PS Vita, but perhaps, I don't know, like maybe a more simplified version. I bet it's going to have like a very basic design, almost like how the last model of the PSP was. I also predict that whatever uses this new cartridge device can also play PS Vita games as well. I know, it's highly unlikely gonna happen, but if it does, just remember who made the prediction. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Are you hoping for a new portable handheld device from Sony? Will you buy it on release day, or are you gonna wait until it's hacked again like the PS Vita? I'll see you guys back here in a few hours. In the meantime, check out this next video where I talk about the PS Vita having a fighting chance in 2020.